Evening, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Mark watching at the top table. Do you want to start with Kim?
Mark, from our viewpoint, that looked a lot of scrambled minds out there. How do you explain a batting performance like that?
Yeah, very disappointing. Look, I think if we look at the bigger situation, we can't start pointing fingers at the moment. I look at it as a self-reflection, a time to self-reflect, and at the moment, my mind is looking at myself and saying to myself, look, how do I take responsibility? Ultimately, I've got to take responsibility for the performance of the team, and how do I try and mentally and physically upskill these guys in a short period of time to make them better players. So that's what's in my mind at the moment.
Mark, a lot of people are saying that this is South Africa's lowest ever since readmission. Do you agree with that sentiment, firstly, and being the coach for the next 10
Sorry,
years?
the lowest?
It's the lowest ever. It's the lowest it's been. It's the worst it's been since readmission. A lot of people are saying that, especially on social media. Do you agree with that? And whether you do or not, how do you fix this, given what's around you in terms of lack of experience and lack of depth in the system?
I think it's a big call. I suppose everyone's entitled to their opinion. I've been in teams where we've been pretty low as well. We're still in the series. So yes, we're in a very bad situation in this particular game. But we're not out of the series yet. So yes, it's disappointing. And, as you'll probably know or understand, that the guys are pretty disappointed in the dressing room at the moment. But like I said, going forward, I need to find a way to try and upskill guys mentally and get them ready for tomorrow and hopefully for the last test match as well. That's what I was saying. It's easy to point fingers at this and that and our system and all that type of stuff, but for me, there's no excuses. I need to find a way how to get it right in a short period of time.
Daniel.
Can you just give us some insight into where you think the problems lie with the batting? I mean, pre-series maybe people said confidence, but we're seeing like some poor shot selection. Is it a mindset thing? And especially among the senior players like Connie and Fluff.
Yeah, look, I think each guy's got their game plans. I think maybe a little bit muddled in these conditions on how to go about it. Sometimes guys listen to comments made by commentators and media and all that type of stuff, and everyone's saying, guys have got to use their feet and be more dominant, especially to the spinners. If you look at the way that the guys are playing, I feel that they want to dominate. But the conditions have been quite tough to dominate, especially at this. I think the ball's turning a lot more. Joe Root, he bowled very quickly. One slides on, one turns. So, the element of risk is quite big to just work out there, go out there and use your feet and hit the ball over the top and try to dominate. So this is what I'm saying is that we need to have a couple of options with regards to our batting in difficult circumstances, difficult conditions, and that is where myself, I've got to look at that and try to give our batters different options. We have got a young batting unit. We don't have to hide behind that. Bottom line is our nation want to see performances, and today is not a day that we want to look at and say, and hold our heads up high and say, we fought hard or this and that. There might have been a couple of things that added to the lackluster performance today. But yeah, we can't get too emotional about it. We've got to go out there and say we need a lot of hard work in the future, and that's exactly what we're going to have to do.
Daniel, Newton, and Dinas.
Last night we were speaking about the word fight and how fast, and you spoke about the fight and take time. You look at the wickets this morning and some of them late in the afternoon. I mean, did you see fight? And if that wasn't fight, what does fight look like to you?
Well, I thought we were a little bit caught unaware. I think that the way that the new ball has been reacting, it didn't show a lot of nip, and we sort of went out. Maybe the guys got a couple of runs behind their names, didn't look after the new ball as well as what they should have, maybe pushing ahead of their bodies instead of actually playing a proper defensive shot. That sort of started off the rot with us today. And no excuses. We need to be better in those situations, and we need to play those moments in the games a lot better.
When you talk about fights with the team, like how are you translating that message? Is it about getting them all together, or how's that message?
I think we get together, we have our chats. We can sit and we can talk as much as we want. Fight, a guy can get a good ball in his first couple of balls that he faces, and people might look at him and go, no, he's not fighting. But that sort of happens in the game of cricket. I think the fight needs to come in as a group of people. We're sitting and we're cheering each guy on, and when they come into the dressing room after having done something special, like a guy like Anand Okia did in the first innings, we're all around there and we're patting on the back and saying, listen, we're living every ball with you. So that when he walks out, he knows that, if he wears one on the body, he's doing it for the team. And that's the sort of fight that I'm talking about. The technical side of things and the upskilling of players is something that I need to take care of.
Mark, you are batsman-like in this test. You're going to be a bowler-like in Joburg with KG out. What do you look at changing? Or do you keep them three bowlers with Keshav? Or do you bring in extra bowler and leave the batting as light as once here?
I don't think we're better lights. I think a guy like Vern can play. He's batting 7 and we're playing 6 batters. We also need to have a bowling unit that can take wickets, take 20 wickets in a test match. To answer about what you're talking about, Wanderers, I haven't got no clue. I haven't seen the conditions at all. We have got different options available, which we will obviously look into because KG's out the test match. But once we get to Wanderers, we can only make that call. Having looked at the way Wanderers have been playing over the last couple of seasons, are we going to go in with the spinner? Are we not going to go with the spinner? I don't know. I haven't seen the conditions yet, and that is something that I can only speak to you about if I've seen the conditions.
Will Faf retire from Test cricket next week?
I've got no clue.
Has he said anything?
No, he hasn't said anything, so I've got no clue. I don't think so.
Mark, also about Faf, are you worried about his state of mind? I'm sure today he reviewed something and he must have known he hit it, surely. And for such a strong leader to do things like that, are you a bit worried about he's not who he should be?
I don't know about the review. I saw it on TV. I haven't spoken to him about it all, so I've got no clue what he felt or if he nicked it or whatever. A state of mind, I think it's easy for me to sit here and say, yes, I'm happy with his state of mind. For me, state of mind is going to be a lot better if he gets out there and scores runs. And ultimately, we all know that he's under pressure in the media and from a confidence point of view. So the positive for me today is that he actually got out there, gave himself a chance to have a look at the conditions, and he actually looked like he had some good rhythm in a really tough situation out there. So that for me was a positive that he got to face, I think, over 100 balls. So yes, he'll sit back in the change room, look at the team situation as a captain and be disappointed with the performance today and in the test match. But I'm sure that he'll take a lot of confidence from the fact that he faced quite a few balls and got to spend a bit of time out in the middle.
Khalid, George, and we're going to finish with Zaid.
So when the team performs like they have now, there's always public outcry of wholesale changes, etc. At what point do you give extended runs, and at what point do you decide, okay, I need to drop something from the side?
Can you answer that for me? That's a difficult question because I think you look at opportunities, you look at situations as well. You're obviously understanding that is a guy going to turn it around overnight. So there's a lot of factors that you got to take into account. The conditions. Like I said, we haven't got to Wanderers yet. We don't know what the conditions are going to be like. If it's going to suit a player, whether he's a bowler or batter, we're not too sure. About our combinations that we want to go with. That can change. If you want to play a spinner, you might go one all-rounder lights. So it's difficult to say right now. We don't have to be rocket scientists to know that a couple of our batters are under pressure. They know that as well, and they're working really hard at it. It is what it is. It's a situation where if there is someone to leave out, it won't be that we've forgotten about him. It might just be that he's going through a bit of a lack of form at the moment, maybe a bit of confidence. So certainly not throwing anyone away at this stage. It might just be a change for personnel we feel are more confident at the moment.
Are there any conversations ongoing or imminent with any of the coal pack or EU passport cricketers about possibly returning?
No, I haven't had any conversations with any Kolpak players. I know that there might be conversations going on at a higher level to find out if there are available opportunities for Kolpak players, but yeah, that's not my baby to deal with.
So we finish off with Ken.
You were part of a side that sacked of David de Villiers back in the day and said, you could be the best batsman in the world and you need to take great responsibility and look after your wicket and all of that. And you know about that conversation. And anyway, do you think Quinton de Kock needs something similar to sitting down and telling this is where you can actually be?
I think Quinny knows. It's also a balance of, he plays a good innings at Supersport Park where he really takes the bowling on and everyone rants and raves and says, no, great innings, which it was. So Quinny's got his way of and his style of playing. To have a conversation with him, first of all, he's a completely different character to AB de Villiers. I think we all know that. We've all seen that. You also don't want to box a guy in and say to him, listen, go out there and now go block it. He'll be disappointed with the shot that he got out to today. If it's something that keeps happening time after time after time and he's going out of his game plan, then maybe I'll sit him down and have a conversation. But I think he's an experienced cricketer, there's enough experience behind his name, and also he's in good form. So I think Quinny looking at play shots like that, he's full of confidence, which is always a good thing to have in your side.
Finally, Ken.
Mark, just to go back to the facing of spin, would you like to see the guys play more sweet shots?
Ken, like I said, that's my job, to try and upskill players. And, right now, yes, I'd like to have a few more options with regards to spin and the way that we play it. You go to the subcontinent, we don't want to be caught with our pants down, where the ball starts turning and, you have general game plans, try to hit the ball over the top, get a man back and then keep the ball on the ground and have your one options. In certain conditions in the subcontinent, it's very difficult to do that. So yes, you've got to look for other options and the sweep is certainly one of them. And like I said, that's my job to try upskill the guys with those different options and give them a couple of plans going forward.